Hello, this is Metal Alpha 4 here, and welcome to another video. Now, this is going to be a bit of a different video to what I normally do. I guess it's going to be a sort of review of types. I mean, that's my usual content, reviews and episodes, theories, and stuff like that. This is also going to be a kind of review, I guess, but it's not going to be a review of a normal TV program. If you didn't know, where have you been like this week? Today was Euro 2016, England versus Wales, one of the biggest games of the competition so far, because it's such a fierce rivalry between these two nations, obviously with England and Wales being so close together. Now, if you didn't know, if you don't want to know the score of the video, don't watch the video. If you haven't seen the things yet, go on, watch the game, come back, watch this video, and I'm going to go through sort of like the stats and how the teams played and how I think this is going to help the teams progress into future stages of the tournaments. So, now that we've got that out of the way, I guess that's a little spoiler warning, let's get straight into the video. Now, the score of the game was obviously 2-1 to England, with England scoring through the two substitutes, Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge, Daniel Sturridge scoring right at the end of the game in the 90th plus 1. So I'm going to go through the game sort of as it happened. Now, the first thing that sort of happened was the Bale goal, obviously. Bale scored a free kick from like 35 yards out, something like that. It was a great free kick, you can't fault him on that. However, I definitely think that Joe Hart should have done better in that situation. You could see he got the touch to it, and he definitely should have been able to push it past the post. So it was a bit of a knock for him. That's going to help him get better. Now, Wales went into the half-time break 1-0 up. They would have been ecstatic, and their team talk probably would have been really good. But Roy Hodgson was very fierce on the players, and he saw the weaknesses in the teams. Now, the England-Russia game was a very good game for England. England played it extremely well. They played so well, but their finishing was just off, and that's mainly because Harry Kane in the game against Russia didn't perform. He didn't even get a touch inside the area against Russia, and he's your striker. He's supposed to be scoring the goals. He didn't perform in that game. Why was he taking corners? Why was he taking free kicks? He wasn't very good at any of this. He didn't really play well. Now, this could be due to him being tired. He's played 65 competitive games this whole year, and that's an enormous amount, and the amount of pressure put on him to do well is sort of perhaps overwhelming, because in the first half of this game he didn't do very well, like he didn't do well against Russia, and Roy Hodgson saw this and took him off at half time. Rightfully so, he hadn't been performing very well. The same can be said about Sterling. He made some good moves against Russia, but he wasn't clinical, and he missed a massive chance against Wales today, and a shot that he definitely should have converted, but he didn't. So Roy Hodgson made another good decision and took him off at half time. And obviously the two substitutes, Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge. Now, Jamie Vardy, to be honest, Jamie Vardy and Sturridge really lifted up the team. Sturridge was making moves and running all over the pitch, and Vardy was really clinical in front of goal. We saw, Vardy's third touch of the ball was him scoring. The goal, yes, it was a bit scrappy, but it came from a good move and it worked well. Now, people are debating whether it was offside or not, and because it was Ashley Williams who got the header to knock it into Vardy's path, that therefore meant that it was not offside. If it was, say, Gary Cahill or someone who had headed it towards Vardy, then yes, that would have been offside. But a lot of hate is going to go towards Ashley Williams after that. It's not really a mistake. You can't blame Ashley Williams for that. Now, Daniel Sturridge's goal was again a bit scrappy. It was just a sort of tap in, and he almost missed it. I mean, Hennessy got a touch to it and almost saved it, which would have been, quite annoying if he had saved it. But he didn't. Obviously, he got a touch to it, but it went in the side of the netting. Perhaps should have done a bit better, but it came from a great move, great passing, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And a lot of games are being scored at this tournament in the last few minutes. We saw just today, in the second game today, Northern Ireland scored another goal in the last minute of the game to make it 2-0 in the 95th minute or something. And this is because teams near the end of the game are pushing a lot more. They're applying the pressure, and the teams are crumbling under that pressure right to the end of the game. And that's what happened to Wales today. England piled on the pressure. Wales, I once counted that Wales had 10 of their 11 men in the last third of the pitch in the last third, as England were attacking 7 or something, and they still managed to get through and break down that defence. This is great stuff from England. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into the actual stats of the game. Now, England had 69% over 31% possession. Now, obviously, this was very prominent in the game. You could see England controlling everything. England controlled all the stats. They had more shots on targets, more corners, and fouls were equal. But, you know, England definitely controlled this game, just like they did the Russia game. They got unlucky in the Russia game with the last-minute goal, as this tournament is showing to produce quite a lot of. But I guess England, they're playing well, and it's their clinical finishing that wasn't great in the Russia game. They sort of fixed that, and they fixed that with the introduction of Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge into the team at half-time. So yeah, I'm now going to go through sort of like the team sheet and sort of talk about who played well. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this for Wales. Obviously, I'm English, so I sort of focus on that team. Now, Walker has been doing great in right back. He's been pushing. He's been making some great moves up the right, and he's been doing great in defence. One thing I can probably say about him is his crosses aren't that good. I mean, they're being very reserved, England, in getting the ball in the middle, because they know that they're not that clinical in front of goal. So they're trying to pass through and then score tap-ins like both of the goals were today, instead of putting it into the middle, because they know they can't really get the height on the ball. Cahill and Smalling, I can't really fault them. They're doing solid at the back, haven't really let anything through. Danny Rose has been doing great on the left, sort of the same as Walker. Perhaps not as attacking as Walker, but that's because he doesn't have the same pace as Walker. You can see Walker tapping the ball in front of him and absolutely sprinting past like Gunter. He was so much faster than those players at the back for Wales today. Now, Dele Alli, he's doing okay. He's got good distribution powers, but his anger is getting the better of him at some point. You could see him today against Aaron Ramsey today. They were really going up against each other, really getting in each other's faces. Eric Dyer's been good at the back. Obviously, because he's playing a CDM role, he's playing a much deeper role than the rest of the team. You can see him playing that role. He's sort of distributing the ball out, but not really getting into the attack, so you can't really see him. But he's doing well at the back. He's getting lots of good challenges in to stop the attackers. Wayne Rooney, I'm grateful that they're playing him at centre mid, because Wayne Rooney is not a striker. I've been saying this for ages. Wayne Rooney is too old to be a striker. He hasn't got the pace that he once had. He's great as a centre mid. He has outstanding vision. He knows where all the players are, and he can distribute the ball extremely well to find any player he wants to. He's doing extremely well at the tournament, and I was worried for a second that they were going to bring him off. Now, Adam Lallana, he was brought off for Rashford in the game, and I guess that's to give the team a bit more attacking mentality, because Lallana was doing really well on the right wing in the first half, and he was against Russia as well. He was doing really well to attack down that right wing and dribble through the defence. Good distributing ability again. There's lots of good passing in this England team. They can pass well. Now, Rashford came on for Lallana at the 73rd minute. This was just to apply a bit more pressure to the team. And Rashford did make some good attacking runs with the ball. But, I mean, he didn't really impact the game much, but, you know, and I'm not really too sure about him yet. Obviously, he's a bit young to perform that well. I don't think he will start very much. I'm not sure if he's going to come on more. But he was there to push the Wales defence, and he did that, and eventually we got that goal. Now, obviously, Jamie Vardy came on for Harry Kane, and I've talked about Harry Kane earlier. Now, Jamie Vardy did well. I mean, I didn't really see him very much because he's very counter-attacking. That's his sort of mentality. That's how he likes to play. He likes to run onto balls and use his pace to get past the defenders. However, that's not really how England play. But hopefully, Rooney can start like delivering balls through to Vardy, and he's going to be able to bomb down, beat the defence. That's perhaps where the team needs to be going, because at the end of the game, you could see what they were doing with the Wales strong 5 at the back formation. You could see the England players just sort of pushing instead of really trying to make balls through the middle. They were sort of running at the players, getting close, and then passing it into the middle, trying to get as close to the goal as they could instead of playing the long through balls. But I guess that was to deal with the Wales' sort of defence. Vardy's good against sort of like he would be good in the first half of the game to get through the defence, because he's got that pace and he's got that ability to get past players. But I mean, I can't fault him on his goal. He was there. He had the attacking mentality to get into the right position for the goal. Yes, he was offside and he got very lucky from Ashley Williams, but he finished the goal, something that perhaps others couldn't do, like Raheem Sterling, good segue, who couldn't finish in the first half and hasn't been very collateral at all in front of goal. So obviously it was brought off for Daniel Sturridge, who did really well. His passing ability was great. He was going after the ball the whole time. he wanted that ball. You could see that he wanted to go after that ball, and you could see his sort of ability, and he was doing really well. Daniel Sturridge really changed the game in it, and it's great to see him performing well, where we haven't really seen him perform that well for Liverpool this season. Obviously, he's been on the bench for quite a lot, and he's had a lot of injury problems, but it's great to see him out there playing well for England. So yeah, where do I think these teams can get into the group? Like, Wales are definitely going to go through the group, I reckon. I reckon England and Wales will make it out of this group. But where they're going to go with that, I don't know, because obviously England, if they play like they did against Wales and Russia, they could get far. But they need to start working on that ability in front of goal. Can they score in front of goal? Can they perform and convert opportunities like they did today? That's really where they need to go to perform against those higher performing teams, because obviously the teams in the group aren't the strongest of teams in the Euros. And if they're going to go on to play teams like Germany and France, they need to be able to score in front of goal, get those early leads. And they've been playing extremely well. I can't fault them on that. But they definitely need to work on scoring in front of goal if they want to go anywhere. Now, Wales, I'm not sure if they're going to get past the round of 16. It depends on who they're playing. They could definitely make it to the quarterfinals. They've got good ability. Gareth Bale, especially, is doing extremely well. Ramsey's doing well as well. Joe Allen, he did really well. And the defence is really good. But, you know, England played extremely well in this game, and they really just need to work on that clinical finishing, as I've been repeating this whole sort of video. And they could go far. I don't think they can win it, but you know, semi-finals, quarterfinals would be great to see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you next time.